Hello everyone and welcome to Card Making Day 2021. My name is Monica Formosa and I'm from Paper Happinessity. Vicky has asked me to do a video presentation for you all today and I hope that I can inspire you. Maybe look at your craft goodies in your collection in a different way and even make a start on your Christmas cards. But before I do that, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Monica and I live in a small seaside town called Bargara, which is on the coast at Bundaberg in Queensland, Australia. I am happily married and I have 4 children, the youngest of which still lives at home. I joined Stampin' Up back in 2014 after being a customer for 12 months, and I realized that I'd be better off grabbing that shopper discount, right? At the time I had a daughter with special needs and I was using my craft time as rest and relaxation. Unfortunately, she passed away 2 years ago, and that's when I decided that I would start classes in my own home and to spread the joy and the companionship that crafting can bring. Don't have too many customers, but my ladies enjoy coming together every month. Yeah, for a tea and coffee and a little bit of card making. Obviously I'm doing something right and they enjoy it because I have a few regulars that keep coming back, so that's great. So here's the list of bits and pieces that we'll be needing to create our card today. We'll be featuring the Words of Cheer stamp set and the coordinating Christmas cheer dies. We'll also be grabbing out a card from the Gingerbread and Peppermint Memories and More card pack. So this is a card and we'll actually be using the back side of the card. You'll also need the craft paper that's in the holiday catalogue, and for this you'll need to stamp your image, and then using the coordinating die we'll be cutting that out. But for the ease of recording, I've actually already done one for you all. Okay, for the pieces on the card, you'll need a card base. Now this might sound a little bit complicated, and I've tried to simplify it as much as I can, but I work in inches. I went to school and learnt centimeters, but I find working in inches actually easier when I'm crafting. So my card base measures 4 1/8 by 11 1/2. Now that is actually half the width of our A4 paper, but I've trimmed it down to 11 1/2, and then I've scored it at 5 3/4 of an inch. It just makes it easier when I'm trying to figure out all my layers. For the inside, because we're using rich razzleberry, I've cut a piece of basic white that's 3 7/8 by 5 1/2, which is 1/4 of an inch less on 2 sides than my card front. All right, and that will give you an 1/8 of an inch border around all 4 sides. Okay. Now there's a matte layer, the bottom matte layer in basic black. Sorry, it's cut to 3 3/4 across by 5 3/8 down, which works out to be 3/8 of an inch less on 2 sides than the card front, and that gives you that much of a border on all 4 sides, whatever that is. That's probably, I'm guessing, maybe, you know, that much. I can't do the maths. Sorry. Okay. The top mat measures 3 5/8 by 5 1/4, which is 1/2 inch less on 2 sides than your card front. And then that will give you a tiny 1/16 of an inch border around your black mat. Okay, you'll also need a scrap of black cardstock for your sentiment that measures 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. We'll be using wishing you a joyful Christmas sentiment. Now I've stamped and hit embossed this already, and it just fits quite well in that 3/4 of an inch. We'll probably trim the ends off a bit to fit. What else will we need? VersaMark for your sentiment and Memento for your image. You'll need you'll also need white embossing powder to use with your VersaMark. I've grabbed the silver from the Simply Elegant trim out of the annual catalogue, and that will go underneath our stamped image. To colour our image, I've actually used the Stampin' Chalk marker. If you don't have one of these, you could easily use the Kraft, the white Kraft ink on a block, and use one of the water pens that Stampin' Up have, or an old paintbrush or something. Adhesives, tape. I've used the tape to actually stick down this underneath. Dimensionals for your image, and stamp and seal then to put all your layers together. You'll also need definitely need a foam mat because you're using photopolymer stamps, and then just the usual, your paper trimmer, your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, your heat tool for your embossing, and your scissors. So that's pretty much it, I think. Okay, so let's get cracking, and I will show you what we need to do. So I'm going to just put this here over the side, hopefully still in screen. Yep, there we go. And we will sit down and I'll show you how I coloured this image. So to start with, I've actually coloured the whole image with the marker in one layer, and then this middle one I've gone over, the middle side, the middle row petals and the inner petals I've actually done again a second time, and then the inside petals I've done a third time. So it gives you a little bit of definition and shading between the different layers. All right, the berries I've done probably a couple of times with the marker, but I will sit down and we'll colour. I'll just bring you down a little bit, and we'll colour this. Oh, sorry guys. And we'll colour this flower. Okay, so like I said, we're going to colour the whole image. It's not vital, but if you can kind of not touch those dark outlines, because the white chalk marker will fade them. But don't worry too much. All right, so I've done that once. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to colour these 5 middle petals and the 5 inner petals again a second time. And these ones. Okay, and then I'm going to go in and I'm going to colour these 5 inner petals a third time. There we go, and there we have it. Can we see that? Let me bring it up. Cool. Now we're going to flip that over and we're going to grab our dimensionals. Use as many or as little as you like. Like one over here, one in the middle. All right, okay, so that's that. Let's put that aside and we'll put our card together. All right, now we start with the card. Actually, I might, I'll just move that out the road and we'll go back to that at the end. Okay, so your Stampin' Seal. Can never get this to work, and it never will on a video, right? Once again, put as much or as little as you like. And we're going to, if you're worried about getting your borders even, liquid glue might be a better option. And then we're going to do the same. Oh. And we will put that on the front, and we will put the, sorry guys, can you see? There we go. Cool. So there's your card front. Right, the tricky bit now is to grab, I might just lift you up a little bit more so I've got a little bit more room. Sorry if you've got vertigo. Okay, so this is just a matter of twisting somehow. I've probably got mine, let's try that again. I've probably got mine way too big. Whoops, sorry. Bumped the camera. All right, so we're gonna kind of put that down there like that. And if I had any sense, I would have had a piece of this already organized. It's probably a bit big. All right, there we go. And I'm just going to, there we are. All right, so use your tear and tape to tape that down. Then we're going to take the backs off your dimensionals and stick that down. Leave that there. try and work out which way this goes. Kind of maybe this way, maybe this way. It's kind of folded way a bit. There we go. And we're just going to get my snips when I can find them. And I'm just going to trim that one. Trim that one. I'm going to trim my sentiment, kind of. If you're really fussy, you can go in here and take one end off. And snip. And we'll put more dimensionals on that one. As you can see, I've coloured the backs of my dimensionals. That way I know if I've left the backs on. Whoops. And then we're just going to put that across there like that. And there you have it. It's done. All right. Okay, so I'll just bring in, and if you want to take a screenshot with everything, I will be doing a blog post and it'll have things on there, measurements and everything on there as well. So I hope everyone has enjoyed that, and enjoy the rest of Vicky's little online event, I guess. Have fun, guys. Bye.